How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Black Vault Market. Today's video is more of an informative video about how you can find out which cards are real and which cards are reprints or counterfeit. So I recently bought these 3 cards on eBay and I got a good deal. I mean, it was in the range of what the comps were. So it didn't seem suspicious at all. And I talked to the buyer and we made a deal and I bought 3 cards at a time. And they just arrived today. And I opened up the package. I was really excited because, all the pictures I got online, they looked really good. And I was looking to check them out to see if they were worth sending into grade. And right off the bat, it just kind of hit me as something wasn't quite right. So I started off and I got this Charles Barkley 1986 Fleer card. And, when I bought it from the guy, like the centering was really nice. And I'm like, all right, this is a little bit like too good to be true. And so I pulled it out of the penny sleeve. And right off the bat, I noticed there was almost like this glaze over it where it didn't have the same sheen as the normal 86 Fleers. And I was like, that's kind of weird. That doesn't make sense. And the picture is almost, if you can't really see, the picture was just almost a little blurry, but not like on purpose, but it just wasn't as crisp as these other 86 Fleer cards. So then I turned it over and I noticed that it's not really matte. Like if the light can hit it just right, there's kind of like a little bit of like a satin finish on these cards. And I was like, hey, this is not feeling right. So quickly I put it next to a real 86 Fleer card, and right away you could tell a difference with the color. I mean, this one is behind a card saver and a sleeve, and those colors pop way more than the card that is outside the sleeve, which should not be the case. So I pulled out a couple of 86s just to make sure I wasn't going crazy. And, side by side, you'll notice this Moses Malone is the real one. And if you take it in the same light, the reflection doesn't even happen. We're hitting the same light. And I guess that one's kind of close, but it's not the same. I mean, like you grab this and it's just, it's showing it all day long. This one, it's not. And then if you flip it over, these cards will always have a light color down here. It's not going to be super vibrant. The top part will be, but these are a much lighter. Whereas if you look at this next to the Moses Malone, it's pretty easy. So that's kind of how you sniff out the 86s. In life, if it seems a little bit too good to be true, 9 times out of 10 it is. And this this Charles Barkley looked really good online, and I was like, this dude's wants $135, which is not crazy too high, but if this was a 9 or a 10, you're gonna have a banger of a card on your hands. So anyways, we sniffed it out. We figured out that this was fake. But if you're buying 86 Fleer, just make sure that you notice those subtle differences. The back is definitely the most obvious way. I mean, you could just tell right off the get. And also this right here normally can continues on into that lower part. So keep an eye on that as well. So that's how you can tell about 86 Fleer. So the next card I'm going to show you is this I also bought from the same seller, and it was a Skybox Impact 2000 Brady. This one, because as soon as I asked him and I said, hey dude, this this 86 Fleer Charles is just not real. And he's like, oh my gosh, I got him at a yard sale. I didn't know. I thought I hit the jackpot. He's like, are the other ones okay? And then I had to do some investigating. So I wasn't 100% sure. So I had to do my own investigation on the Brady's. I bought 2 Brady's, a Victory one and then the Skybox one. The way you can tell if this one is fake or not is on the front. This yellow is way more vibrant on the reprints. And then in the background here, the color is, the real color of the real cards is more of a blue, and this is more of a purple. So the real ones are going to have more of like a Michigan Wolverines color scheme, and the fake ones have more of a purplish overtone. Also, you're going to see the vibrance in you know, his pants, and the yellow part is going to be way more dramatic in the reprint. Also, flip it over. So on the fake ones, Tom Brady's name is up here and his photo is on the bottom. On the real ones, his photo is on the top and you're gonna have his name on the bottom. So this will look like that for the real card, and when you flip it over, it would be like this. So that's the easiest way to tell right off the bat. If his face is on the bottom, it's fake. And you can forget about all this other stuff. But look for the bluish color. It shouldn't be purple. And that's the other way that you can tell with the impact. So luckily the seller refunded me for all 3 cards. We didn't have an issue. And, you know, he just said to keep them because they're worth nothing. But yeah, this was in extremely good condition too. So I was thinking, man, this looks like a 9 or a 10 as well. And I was pumped. So let's move on to the last card. And this one is the Victory Tom Brady. This one's a lot harder to tell in some ways because there's no obvious things like that. It's basically the coloring. The real card is more muted. It's not super vibrant orange, and this card, the fake ones have the green that's really popped, and then the blues are more popped. You can see like the contrast in here is more dramatic, whereas in the real card is, this all is toned down, and I'll put up an example so you can see. So this one is a little bit harder to tell really. But this one had come, and in his listing, he's like, hey, there's a ding on the surface, which you can see right here. The light just hits it. So that's why I kind of like justified, you know, what the price was. I was like, all right, cool. So that'll knock it down to like a 7 or something. But the centering was really nice. It has the gloss like the real Victory cards did. So I didn't even notice until I got them open. And once the Charles was not real, I was like, I better investigate all of these. So this one is a little bit more harder to tell, but you guys just got to be careful out there. Also, there's these reprints, they sell them on Etsy for like $3. So if you're ever out at a show and you're not really sure, just pull up that Etsy, the photos of it, and you should be able to tell. Definitely look at the slabbed ones, and you'll see the blue is different, and the colors aren't as vibrant on the actual real card. So anyway, guys, be safe out in the wild. Sometimes if it's too good to be true, it is, and that was the case of today. But a good lesson, and now we know for the future how to avoid buying stuff. Good thing I didn't get these at like a card show or a store where they didn't accept returns, and the seller was cool with just doing the refund and calling it a day. And I'll see you guys next time. Click that subscribe button. Thanks for hanging out. If you've gotten some counterfeit cards and you've learned some stuff, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story, and we will see you next time. Black Vault Market out.